Hello and welcome back to me, Ben, playing City Skylines here. I'm on the City Builder channel on YouTube. So it's been a while, I think more than 1.5 years when I kind of finished my series of Let's Play, and now since City Skylines 2 has been announced a couple of weeks ago, which is something I'm very excited about and very happily looking forward to. I decided to go for one last gameplay recording probably. So I'm thinking about building a new city here in City Skylines 1 to have a better understanding and some good experience in City Skylines 1 before I'm starting out with City Skylines 2, hopefully by the end of this year. So, to be honest, I just recently got me the missing DLCs that I didn't have or didn't consider buying. I will include a link to all the DLCs and also the source where I got them from, a lot cheaper. So I saved about 35%. Roughly on the missing DLCs, and I just want to show you what kind of mods are currently active. As you can see, some of them are purely recording related, right? Like render it, ultimate level of detail, unified UI is only for convenience. Load order tool is something I recently learned from Biffa about, and honestly Biffa has done a great job introducing me to this, so I'm very happy about this, and a huge shout out to Biffa here as well, because that's really helpful when it comes to organizing your City Skylines installation. So I'm more than happy about this. Again, the speed slider is something I'm using for recording reasons. Ultimate eye candy, cinematic, camera extended, blah blah blah. So this is all related to the recording stuff, and the rest is like the standard mods that I would recommend everybody to use, to be honest, when you're playing City Skylines, because it's so much more fun than playing without it. For this last series, I was planning to choose one of the maps that come with, well, maybe I'm choosing one of the standard maps. I think it's why make a huge fuss about it. So I think Diamond Coast is not something I really like. Green Plains, maybe I'm going for River Run, and Springvalley is a good name for us to start here playing City Skylines again. So there are a couple of things I wanted to tell you about. I changed my setup quite significantly, so I'm using a different recording software now. It's called Bandicam. I tried and tested and did some checks here and there before I'm now finally using it, because obviously it's a huge thing to record a couple of minutes, or maybe even hour-long gameplay on your computer. So I upgraded my system slightly. I changed my microphone setup and everything else. So please let me know in the comments down below if you feel that the improvement is good for you and that you can understand me properly. Thanks very much for the feedback here. And as always, in case you haven't subscribed to me yet or don't follow me yet here on YouTube, I would be more than happy if you could subscribe to my channel, leave me a like here on this video, because that's in the end all that counts for me. Yeah, since I'm also relying on your feedback, of course, as always. So now it will take a couple more seconds until we're getting straight into the city. Before I'm getting started, I will have to check a couple of things, because I don't want to have happening right at the moment, because it's easier to start your build without that. And I can see, and now I'm starting to remember, this is one of the more interesting maps here. As you can see, you have 2 highways into the map, which is exciting. And honestly, for this first take, I think I'm going for the bigger chunk of land here before I'm using this kind of diamond intersection. Honestly, those intersections, when they come with the game, but that's something we'll discuss later, they're usually not that good, and it's not very good to have for a couple of traffic reasons. And what I'm deciding to go for in general is a highway related arteria coming into town. But before I'm doing that, I usually have to lay down like one piece of road before I'm actually getting all the roads that I need for my planning. And I honestly prefer using, for the first grid layout, I prefer using those gravel roads, because they make it a bit easier for me to plan out things. So first I'm going 5 in and another 5 in there. I also want to have like one overpath, and this is something I only can do like with the standard road. So I'm switching here to a more to a better view, because I just recently learned some of you might use only an elevation of 3. I'm honestly going for 4 because I prefer using 4, and then doing the same over here, because that height, and I will quickly show you in a second why I'm doing this, because as soon as you start laying out 3 lane is a little bit too much. I want to have like 2 lane one direction, that's enough. Going back down 4 steps, and now I'm replacing just to be able to visualize this better. Because what I don't like from a visual standpoint, and I think even that here is not perfect, but you can see the lampposts, they're at the same height as the bridge crossing the road, and that's sometimes bothering me a little bit just from a visual standpoint, because it's not very realistic, I would say. So I'm laying out my grid here, and I'm connecting you guys here to the highway. Anyway, I have to change a few things here, but for now I'm leaving this. Oh, that's not good. There already some kind of mistake happened. So I'm choosing the standard road here for setting this up properly. Why is it making such a mess? I had this the last time. Toggle node snapping. Let's just check that. Yeah, it should be good. So that's my highway overpath, and usually what I'm tending to do, because it's 4 steps, I'm trying to go out as far as possible before that slope actually breaks. So I'm trying to get the maximum of slope available. And that's 12, usually 12 steps. And since I will be working with a 12-step setup anyway, so my grid will extend a bit, I'm more than happy to take that. But for now, I'm just laying out my like basic grid here. It's always, I'm counting with 240. That makes it a little bit easier, so don't have to think a lot about the actual distance, but more about the construction costs. And remembering 240 is, yeah, easy enough for me. And coming from there, I'm of course going 240 in, 480 there, 240 in, 40 in, 480 out, down, and 480 in again, 240 in again, I'm sorry. And then I can hook up this and that. And I can also make sure that I'm 240, another 240, another 240, another 240. I'm just laying out my basic grid here, as you can see, and I'm adding in some service roads that will help me later on stuffing in some businesses that I don't want to have or some, let's say, some things like waste management, so some service oriented things here. And for now, I'm extending my grid here to focus on the residential zones. 480, 240, 240. And now it's time to start replacing roads. Connecting that up so I have a nice turnaround. Since I don't have any on and off ramps yet of my highway, well, my proclaimed highway because I don't have highway roads yet. It's too early in the game. I'm using the standard gravel roads for now. This is not ideal, and obviously I'm going to change that at a later point in time. And before I'm wasting too much money now, let me see. So 7 megawatts. So I'm going for the coal plant, unfortunately here. I'll put it right there in the utmost possible location. I go for the inland water treatment. This again is important, and I'm using for now, and I won't make the same mistake again. Maybe I just have to remember that I'm not filling up those squares with industrial. So I want to line up my water tower here, my first one. Yeah, and as you can see, I also enjoy following the roads here. So I'm using that as kind of a guideline. Just to keep things as realistic as possible. And the reason for that actually is because whenever a city is planning water supplies, I think it would make sense to plan it without laying it below the streets, because the streets are something every city can maintain quite easily, but it won't be able to well, of course the city could potentially lay it out below houses, but whenever there was an issue, or whenever there is an issue with the water supplies, city council would have to decide that it's time to tear down some houses, and obviously that's something that will less likely happen, I think. So that's the reason why I'm sticking to my plan, and why I'm not laying any water lines just as efficient as possible below my city, but more as realistic as possible below my city. So I'm curious what will happen here. Some residential, some commercial. And my first goal, before I'm getting started with setting up the city, is to make sure that I have enough zones available for my residents for now, but also for my industry, because industrial demand usually tends to be quite high at the beginning. So I'm filling up this. I think that should be a service area later. Maybe good for a fire department. And obviously I have to hook up the inland water treatment. So, and I think I'm ready now to let the game run. Just wanna fix that here. I'm using the anarchy mod here quickly. Yeah, because why not have power lines above your highway. So let's connect that as well. Good. Now I'm letting the game run for a bit. And I'm watching closely who will come in to my town first. I will also make sure to catch up that person, to catch that person. So I can't do taxes yet. I will move that to somewhere 35. This should be enough for now. So now I'm trying to catch my first person moving in, because I can see some houses are being built over there. There, that looks like a... Oh, you're passing by, guys. What's happening? Strange. I thought some of you might turn up. Oh, there you go. So let's take the first car. This one. The Jeep. Taylor Peters. He resides here, the Elm residence. So let's make his house a historical building. It's the first person that's moving in. And what I also prefer to do before I'm taking care of the... I'm renaming this. I'm renaming it already to Taylor Peters Highway. I want to make this a priority road, obviously. Exactly. So that's it. And now I have to quickly take care of my power supplies here. And using the Bandicam mod again. And move it mod later. Because it's there. I know it. Maybe it wasn't close enough. I'm sorry, guys. So business need power, of course. They do. They all have water, they have power. Oh, that's all fine. So as you can see, time's flying a little bit. City is still growing, of course. That's the way it should be. So now I think it's time to check a couple of things. That's something I have to fix soon, because I will run into problems here. I think I'm pulling everything up now to 100. Just to make sure that I'm meeting the growing demands here. Yeah, so everything is supplied properly. Electricity, water, sewage, garbage processing. Yeah. Maybe I need another. And it has a lot more capacity. However, I want to make sure that we have enough supplies here. And obviously, don't want to use the anarchy mod here, because otherwise it would be pulling in things. So with the next, and I'm sorry for jumping over our next milestone that we reached by getting 900 citizens. I'm now in a situation where I can put down further things, and the next one will definitely be the firehouse as soon as I can. So I went for the little medical clinic first, because I think, in my opinion, medical, of course you could say, well, this is time to wait. You can wait for this, but I don't want to put this in too late, to be honest. So I'm going for the medical clinic first before I'm actually putting in some fire department, and police department will be the last one. And everything after that will most likely be about schools. But fire, for now, is my most important hazard that I have to remember. Make sure that I'm not losing like any houses, any citizens, any buildings based on that. Don't want to see that happening. So yeah, while I'm fast forwarding here this video for you, just to make the whole process a little bit shorter, so that you don't have to wait for such a long time, what I'm doing right now is filling up some of the spaces to be prepared for the ongoing demand in my city, and I'm also laying out further down south the road network that needs to be extended. So yeah, if you want to hang in and just wait for a couple more seconds until this speedy process is finished, and then we'll head on to the further parts of the city building here. Thanks a lot for staying tuned. Now I already reached Tiny Town, parks, plazas, blah blah blah, all got here. So the first thing I'm going to do is putting down fire department, but also here my industrial zone, I need one. And I don't have the funds to do anything else besides that, but that's important, that's crucial. So I'm going for that here. So money keeps pouring in, citizens keep pouring in, which is good. Now I'm having issues with my power supplies. Again, pulling it up by a bit. Again, as long as I can live with one power plant, I'm trying to go for it, because I'm not yet ready for policies. It's a bit too early in the game because I probably won't be able to afford them yet. So don't want to go for that right now. So biggest demand is commercial. I'm laying out one more. One more commercial zone here. This will be huge later. And then we have this highway coming. This will be fairly significant. I'm starting to extend this. And I'm beginning to replace some of the roads here that sneak around the corner. Don't want to go too far with that. And of course they need to head to the other direction. So now police is an issue. It's becoming a slight problem. But I do not have the funds yet to put down a police station. Please go ahead. 12,000 almost reached my goal. There we go. Everybody is getting happy again. Hopefully. So they're dispatching, taking care of the things here, making sure that everyone's fine. Yeah, still, like for one police department, they have a lot of work to do. They need to make sure that everybody feels safe and happy, but it should soon be. Okay, so now I'm running into power issues again. My last option for now is to increase the budget for this. 100% should be fine, and I also want to increase the budget for the water. Let's see whether that's enough. Did I not increase the budget? I increased it. So I have to do something about that very, very quickly. Because otherwise, it shouldn't be so that much of a problem. Yeah. Keeps increasing. 19,000. Still a while to go. Fortunately, I don't have any other power plants available yet. We'll have to wait for other power plants coming along. Just hurry, I need another 10,000, please. Let's run. And now I'm checking again my wind. No, wind is not an option. So it'd only be temporary, but not for a long time being doesn't really help. So I have to live with probably losing a few citizens because they might be unhappy over there. Perfect. Amazing. But that should no longer be a problem here. It's just a cost thing now to maintain. And that's something I don't need any longer. I can put it down to 100. So what about water supplies? I want to have that information quickly. Yeah, water availability is okay-ish. So I'm planning ahead. Let's move here. Good. So I'm aware that this here is polluted, but this will hopefully get back to a more normal level later. Now what I don't like that this is kind of sunken into ground. I'm changing that. That could become an issue. I want to make one crossing here. This could be quite unpopular. And then I also want to make sure that I'm introducing a new highway crossing here. Just to make sure that everybody's connected. And now I reached the boomtown status with 2,600. What I saw is that I now have some room to lay out airports. But this is way too soon. Like, I would not recommend doing that. Before your town actually grew bigger. So let's keep waiting with that. So the first thing I have to take care of is the industry, because there's a huge industrial demand, and what I want to do, or parks first. Should I go for parks first? Yeah, I'm going for parks first. So I'm zoning a few things here. I want to have a park here because this also has this beautiful stone inside. Make sure that it closes up to the road and the street properly. Evergreen grounds, wonderful. That should be another park area. Oak Park, wonderful. And this could be another park area. Because I want to have Elk Garden in the end. A very green city, if possible. So I want to support my citizens here. I'm planning out this strip here, highway later. So let's begin with a small main gate. Maybe right here. Well, let's check first on my education. Because that's obviously something I kind of neglected for a bit. But I don't want to neglect it any further, even though it's gonna be expensive. So put down... Oh. Yeah, the medical clinic is fine. Oak Park. There's maybe another park that I'm going to take care of now. Park main gate. Park main gate. And park main gate. Putting it down, and it should be enough for the rest of my city, at least for now. So now let me have a look at that. It looks pretty nice, I think. People are walking to work, which is amazing. They also walk and go for shopping here. This is great. And I honestly want to preserve some of those things here. Like the bookstore, I really like it. Let's see. Fry Guys. Amazing. So I'm deciding that some of those will be historical buildings. Big bite also, because then the game does not change their appearance. That's good. Oh yeah. Gas station, amazing. And another barbecue color here. Great. Amazing. Good stuff. Like it. So let's keep it like that for now. As you can see, we did quite a couple of things here. We made sure that we fulfilled a lot of needs. And I think for now I'm ending this recording. So first of all, yeah, thanks for watching. Thanks for staying tuned here. It's almost 1.5 hours of recording, but obviously I will speed up a couple of things throughout the process. So thanks for joining me today at City Build Skylines. At City Skylines here on my City Builders channel on YouTube. Thanks very much. And if you haven't followed me yet, I would really appreciate that. And if you like this video or want me to continue, just leave a comment down below. I'm more than happy to ask like any questions you're asking. Please go for it. And I hope to see you soon. So thanks a lot for being here. Bye bye and have a good one.